had fallen deep. In a corner of the city, under the dim light of a small rental apartment, a handsome young man with black hair stared intensely at a folder on his computer screen labeled Rainbow Eevee Puzzle Pop. This time it's gotta work, he muttered. Taking a deep breath, he dragged the folder with his mouse to a website's upload area and clicked confirm. But the next moment, a big red X appeared, along with an error message, and the folder on his desktop instantly vanished. Unknown error. 404, file corrupted. Damn it, not again. The young man cursed and slammed his fist on the table. His name was Kyrus, and he'd been transported to this world a week ago. The good news, this was a world he loved and knew well, the world of Pokemon. The bad news, he'd been reincarnated as a broke, identity-less orphan teen, renting a temporary room on the outskirts of Viridian City, barely scraping by on odd jobs each day. Coming to this world, Kyrus had no grand plans of becoming a trainer. He'd be perfectly content just befriending one or two Pokemon and living out his days with them as companions. But reality was even harsher than he'd imagined. Right now, he was dirt poor and couldn't even feed himself properly. If he tried to catch a Pokemon, they'd probably end up homeless together. Picture this, him and his Pokemon on the street with a begging bowl, Kyrus handling the crying, the Pokemon doing the pleading. To change this situation, Kyrus, who'd been a top game developer in his previous life, spent his first day after arriving researching this world's entertainment industry online. The results were beyond his expectations. While this world had smartphones and computers for everyone, with a highly developed internet, the entertainment sector was basically a blank slate. Whether movies, TV shows, novels, or games, everything was stuck in a primitive, low-level stage. Take this example. The #1 game on the League Gaming official hot list cost a whopping 2,030 yen and was called Angry Rocks. It was literally just a racing game where you played as a Geodude rolling down roads, and it was single-player only, not even having online multiplayer. If you were lucky enough to reach the later levels, your Geodude would evolve into Golem and become like a massive 18-wheeler on the highway, giving pedestrians a taste of what living life to the fullest really meant. This situation filled Kyrus with excitement. With his abilities, in a world so starved for gaming culture, he could live comfortably just by casually porting over a few classics from his previous life. But then the problem started. When Kyrus spent 2 days creating a simple Pac-Man Starter Trio game and tried to upload it, the upload failed, and the folder disappeared. At first, he thought his computer was malfunctioning, so he remade the game, took a USB to the internet cafe downstairs to try again, only to encounter the exact same issue. Refusing to give up, he created a new Lucario Gold Miner minigame, but met the same fate again. Including what just happened, this was now the 5th game he'd made that failed to upload and vanished. This was giving Kyrus a serious headache. What was he supposed to do? Next week was rent day. But he'd been so focused on making games lately that all the money he had wouldn't even buy a bottle of Moo Moo milk from the convenience store downstairs. Just as he was lost in thought, wrestling with his dilemma, a golden panel suddenly materialized before his eyes. Along with it came an electronic voice. 7-day buffer period complete. Blocking function operating normally. Ding, congratulations, host. The Ultimate Pokemon Game Development System has been activated. This system can provide you with efficient game development technology to help the host become the ultimate Pokemon game developer. Beginner bonus tech modules activated. Please check your panel. After reading through the information, Kyrus's gaze fixed on the first line of text. So my game's failing this whole week was because of this system. The electronic voice spoke again, with a hint of pride. Ding, please note, host, since you are a transmigrator, to prevent space-time disruption that could result in your erasure, you are temporarily limited to creating games with Pokemon as core content. Non-Pokemon games have been automatically blocked by the system. No need to thank this system. Quote. Gee, thanks a million, Kyrus muttered sarcastically. He mentally ran through every curse word he'd learned in this lifetime before taking a deep breath and assessing his current situation. Simply put, this system could help him rapidly develop games, but only games with Pokemon as the core content. He looked at the panel, where 2 squares glowed with blue light. Pixel Game Module Low Tier can rapidly create pixel-based content. Basic Programming Module Low Tier can rapidly create small-scale, simple program content. Unlocking other modules or upgrading existing ones requires emotion points, obtained when others experience anger, shock, emotion, admiration, etc. toward your games or yourself. Current balance, 0. Rapid content creation. Kyrus thought for a moment, opened his computer's game development software, and visualized a pixel image in his mind. The next moment, a Pikachu made of yellow pixels instantly appeared on screen. Now that's pretty sweet. Kyrus's eyes lit up. Even as a top-tier game developer, creating a game solo required tremendous time and energy. That's why he'd been choosing small-scale games to work on this week. Because making those big games single-handedly was simply impossible. Plus, his specialty was game design, not programming. There was a difference between the two. Usually, Kyrus just provided direction, concepts, and ideas while others at the company handled the programming. But with this system, that problem was solved. Not only that, as long as the games he created sparked emotional reactions in others, he could unlock more new modules and create even more advanced Pokemon games. With this realization, Kyrus's mind raced. Pokemon core games only, basic programming, pixel limitations. One game immediately came to mind. Pokemon, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald series. This was pure heavyweight material, the Pokemon awakening for countless fans' childhoods, the most classic handheld game ever made. With his current system capabilities, making this game seemed just about perfect. But in that moment, a completely new idea suddenly flashed through Kyrus's mind. To unlock more modules and create higher-level games, he needed more emotion points. In that case, the original, authentic Emerald just wouldn't cut it. Sitting at his desk, he suddenly broke into a meaningful smile. If you had to ask what emotion gamers most commonly experienced, it was definitely rage and getting completely wrecked. And even Emerald could deliver that. Kyrus clicked his mouse and tapped his keyboard, and a new folder appeared on his desktop. Pokemon, Ultimate Emerald Insanity Mode Limited Edition. The game Ultimate Emerald isn't just a remaster of the original Pokemon Emerald. It's a fan-made ROM hack, a masterpiece in fan game creation. It brings in Pokemon and maps from later generations and tweaks the storyline, offering an entirely new experience. But here's the catch, it's brutally difficult. In fact, it's several times harder than the original game. The NPCs are equipped with ridiculously smart AI, analyzing your team and anticipating your moves before pulling off strategies like type coverage, item use, and even advanced tactics like switching Pokemon to secure KOs. Sometimes, they're even smarter than human players. And forget about brute forcing your way through with overleveling. This game has level restrictions that make that impossible. Most newcomers are completely thrown off, often resorting to guides just to scrape by. As for Insane Mode, that's the game's hidden difficulty. It's not just difficult. It's hell on earth, ridiculously tough, enough to make you question your very existence. Kyrus, though, had his own ideas. He wanted to crank the difficulty even higher, boosting the AI intelligence beyond the game's original scope, giving the NPCs even more flexibility in their battle strategies. After all, this world was full of trainers, and Pokemon were everywhere. Without a challenge, the game would be far too easy for some players. Besides, Kyrus's main goal in creating this game wasn't just to mess with players, well, maybe a little. It was about raising the bar for difficulty. Easy mode could wait for later. With that in mind, Kyrus opened his files, adjusting his game settings and mentally pitching a few new concepts to the system. System, can you implement these changes? Affirmative. Shall I begin production immediately? Kyrus nodded, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. Let's do it. The system was supposed to make things faster, and it did. His development speed shot up, drastically increasing his efficiency. But perfecting the game and making the necessary tweaks took the rest of the night. By the time he finished, the first rays of dawn had already broken. Sunlight streamed through the window as the city outside slowly awoke in a soft glow. Kyrus made his final edits to the game's title and description, dragged the file onto the webpage, and clicked Upload. This time, no blood-red error message flashed on the screen. Instead, 4 green words appeared, Upload successful. A long sigh of relief escaped him. He quickly shut the curtains, didn't bother shutting down his computer, and collapsed face first onto the bed beside him. Within seconds, he was out cold. The all-nighter had taken its toll. His body in this world seemed weaker than in his past life, and if he didn't sleep now, he'd probably end up reincarnating a second time. Must sleep immediately. With a deep breath, his body relaxed, and the soft rhythm of his breathing filled the room. Then, from behind the curtains, something strange stirred. A figure emerged from the shadow, a small, flickering flame atop a white candle-like form. Its dark green eyes glowed eerily, and a faint blue flame danced on top. A Litwick. Its cute, almost innocent appearance hid its true nature. This Pokemon wasn't just a source of light. Litwick fed on the souls of the living, using its candle flame to lure travelers before draining their life force. Right now, it swayed gently in the room, a sense of hunger in its eyes. So hungry. If only there was something to eat. Then, its gaze fixed on Kyrus, the scent of his soul reaching it. Its flame flickered brighter. This person's scent. So delicious. Just a little taste wouldn't hurt, right? It was Saturday, and according to Alliance law, most people had the day off, except for those working in service industries. In a world where entertainment options were few, live streaming had become a popular way to kill time. The biggest streaming platform, Psyduck platform, suddenly lit up with activity as a long-dormant channel came online.